Okay, crew, in this video we're going to have a look at finding rules or determining rules, which is going to help you with your work on 4E. Okay, so the main thing to remember with this stuff is we're actually not learning any really thing particular new, okay? It's stuff that we've seen before, we're just applying what we've seen before into this new situation, okay? So the main thing, okay, that we need to remember is that for every unknown you need a piece of information, okay? So what we're going to be given in these questions, okay, is a general form for our equation. Okay, in this case we've got a hyperbola. Okay, but we're going to have these constants in here. Okay, in this case a and k, and we're going to be given some other information and asked to find those values of a and k. Okay, so for the fact with this one I've got a and k, so two things I've got to find. I need 2 bits of information to do it. Okay, because I need 1 bit of information for every unknown. Okay, so you've got to be careful there. Make sure you've got enough information. With these questions, they're usually going to be reasonably straightforward with giving you that information. Okay, the thing to remember though is because I've got 2 unknowns, okay, I'm going to end up having to do simultaneous equations here at some point. Okay, and you'll see what happens. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sub in the 0.27. Okay, so I'm going to say 7 equals a on 2 plus k. Call that equation 1. I'm going to sub in -1 and 1 and say I've got 1 equals, now I'm going to be a on -1, that's just going to give me -a, okay, plus k, and that's equation 2. Okay, and so you can see now we've got 2 equations, 2 unknowns, we need to solve them simultaneously. You know my preference is always to go with substitution, so I'm going to go with that method again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this a over the other side here for this one, because I think that's what makes the most sense. Okay, so then I'm going to have 1 plus a equaling k for my equation 2, and I'm going to sub equation 2 into equation 1. Okay, I'm going to pop it in there. Okay, because I know that k equals 1 plus a, so I'm going to replace my k with 1 plus a. So I'm going to say I've got 7 equals a on 2 plus 1 plus k. Sorry, 1 plus a. I'm replacing k. Right, I'm going to take my 1 away over here. And so I've got 6 equals a on 2 plus a. I'm going to times everything by 2. Okay, because we don't like the fractions on the bottom here. Okay, so for here I took 1 away. Here I'm going to times by 2. So I'm going to get 12 equals a plus 2a. Remembering I'm multiplying everything by 2. Okay, collect like terms. 12 is going to equal 3a, so a is going to equal 4. Now I'm not done, I'm only halfway there. So now I'm going to sub a equals 4, okay, into equation 2. And the reason why I do that is because I'm trying to find k and I've already got this equation set up. So I've got 1 plus a equals k, so 1 plus 4 equals k, so k is going to equal 5. Okay, so all up, okay, my equation will become y equals 4 on x plus 5. Okay, so I subbed in whatever information I was given, and that's always going to be your first step. Okay, often you'll have to do simultaneous equations here, okay, which I set up. Remember, you can do substitution or elimination. I always say that I like substitution better because it's generally speaking 99% of the time the easier way to do it, or the more efficient way. Okay, and you can always do them. It doesn't matter what happens, you'll always be able to do them. Okay, so I've got another example for you here. Because this one's might look more complicated than what it actually is. Okay, so a circle has a center at 1, -1 and goes through 4, 3. Find the rule. Okay, so we know for a circle, okay, that we have r squared equals x take h squared plus y take k squared. Okay, now we've got a couple of different bits of information here that we can use. So if we're looking at this, we'd be thinking, okay, well, I've got to find r, I've got to find h, I've got to find k, but I've only been given this point and this point, you'd be thinking that I've actually not been given enough information. But in fact you have, because the center here, this, remember, is your H and this is your K. So you have actually been given 2 points in one here, if you like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that r squared equals x take, x take 1 squared, and it'll be y plus 1, because we're taking that negative 1, which turns into a positive, or we're just switching the signs. Okay, but we also know that goes to the point 4, 3. So we can sub that in as well. Okay, so this was subbing in 1, negative 1 for the center. This time we're going to sub in 4, 3 for x and y. Okay, so we get r squared equals, well, we said it goes to 4, take 1 that hasn't changed, squared, plus 3 plus 1, again, that hasn't changed, that's all squared. So just start working things out now. So r squared equals 4 minus 1 is 3, 3 squared is 9. Okay, 3 plus 1 is 4, squared is 16. Okay, so r squared equals 25. Therefore, r equals the square root of 25, which is simply 5. Okay, so we now know our h and our k value. We've given those and we've worked out our r value. So all up now, we can say that our equation is, and we'll write it out other way around when we say x plus 1 squared plus y plus 1 squared equals 25. Okay, we found our r value of 5, but remember it's always r squared, so it's still going to be our 25. Okay, so we've got our rule there for our circle. So you can see this one we didn't, even though we had 3 unknowns that we're trying to find, because of how much information we were given, okay, we didn't actually need to do simultaneous equations. Okay, so this one looked like it'd probably be worse, that we'd have to do it like 3 steps for our, or 3 equations for simultaneous equations. It's not the case at all. Okay, so just look at the equation that you're given, okay, or the equation that you know is the case for the type of function that I told you about. Sub in the values that you've been given, okay, and solve it if you can straight away, or simultaneous equations like the first one.